half in the bag. Hey, don't you got anything better to do?
Oh, and then a polar bear fell on me.
Oh, Phil, what a coincidence running into you at B-Fest.
Yeah, what was a pest exterminator doing at a festival of bad movies?
Well, Northwestern called me in about an infestation, and turned out it was a room full of geeks.
Oh.
Well, what do you say we all grab a seat and talk about B-Fest?
Oh, sure.
It's his deal.
You know, Phil, we have other chairs. You don't have to sit in the little blue chair.
Oh, cool.
So, Phil, do you like your new chair?
Oh, yeah, it's all right. Where do you want me to put it when I'm done?
Oh, you could just throw it right on top of the kitchen table.
We're in Evanston, Illinois, Northwestern University. It's about 5 o'clock, and we're unloading all of our supplies.
What are we doing here?
We're going to B-Fest.
Oh my God. So for those of you that don't know, B-Fest is an event that's held every January in Illinois. It's 24 hours straight of bad movies.
That's right, Jay. Every year, B-Fest is held at Northwestern University, which is known for its journalism school, its women's lacrosse team, but most importantly for its live saw demonstrations.
Faith got on stage, she took her pants and her panties off. She laid down on the stage, we put a towel underneath her. Then Jim plugged the saw in. He brought her to orgasm right there on stage.
The name of the sex toy is the fuck saw, okay?
So Phil, have you been to B-Fest before?
Yeah, I think the first one I went to was in 2007.
Okay, so a number of years now.
5 years, I think. I'm not, I didn't go every year, but...
Yeah, this is my fourth year in a row. And Mike, this is your first full year, right?
It's my first full year.
Yeah.
Last year I was only there for 6 or 7 hours. I saw the tail end, the morning movies.
The morning movies is where everyone has lost their mind by that point because they've been up all night. It's an endurance test. I can't even say the whole thing is entertaining. It is an endurance test.
It's a goal that you want to meet.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay the ticket price and you know that you're going to have 24 hours. I've never quite stayed up through the entirety of it. There's a little napping here and there. I try to do as little as possible. I'm always kind of worried that if I left the theater and went and tried to find some place to sleep, I'd miss like 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I just
wouldn't wake up.
I just pass out in my seat for 20 minutes and wake up again and realize that Guru the Mad Monk is still on, and then I go back to sleep.
Butchery, mutilation, Guru the Mad Monk.
Well, we saw some gems this year, didn't we?
Yes.
The first one of note is Best of the Best.
That was the kickoff.
Starring, what's his face? Eric Roberts. Yeah.
The ironically titled Best of the Best.
Yes.
Oh, it was the best. But the best weren't the Americans.
I don't think I can do it.
Well, that's the irony of the whole movie is that it's this American. What are they? Kickboxers?
I think it's karate.
Was it supposed to be karate?
It's sort of MMA.
Okay, but yeah, the Americans versus this Korean team.
Yeah.
And every time it comes to the Korean team training, you're like, these guys are awesome.
It almost is like they were making it to seem that way. It's really well done in that, telling that kind of story. It's like, okay, here are the Americans. They're sitting in the cafeteria and they're bitching about ice cream, whatever. Here are the Koreans. They're running uphill through the snow, barefoot on a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
I want them to beat these stupid ass Americans with Eric Roberts and Chris Penn in his stupid hat.
These guys are awesome.
The Americans were the underdogs. They were partially retarded and they had issues, and Chris Penn wore a cowboy hat and he was from Texas and he was a little slow.
A little slow.
I don't know if that was his acting or him. And what's his face had father problems. He had a son, and he murdered his wife. Or what happened? Didn't he accidentally?
Roberts?
Yeah, didn't he accidentally kickbox his wife to death?
I don't.
Or was I watching a different movie?
I think you might have been watching a different
I
movie.
missed that.
After
But
24
that
hours, some
could've-
of the movies blend together.
But he was like a
so-
single father or divorced.
He was
Something like
yes.
that,
He
yeah.
lived with his mom, Nurse Ratched, and this child that he kissed a lot.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
kissed him on the
Yeah,
mouth.
There was lots of awkward mouth kissing and low V-necks.
Just lots of cable knit sweaters from that guy.
Yeah.
I know.
But the best part of the movie, though, was the subplot about the guy that had ice cream issues.
Yeah,
He
it
had,
was
like-
his
It was like repressed ice cream memories.
the memories of his brother getting killed were triggered by ice cream.
That's where the movie really
the
should have
tragedy.
ended, was the resolution to that storyline, where he's at a gas station. He had given up on the team, and he saw at a gas station a little kid handing his ice cream to his brother. I want to kick people in the head again.
But the thing is, if they had cut there, we would have missed out on all of the best James Earl Jones acting.
That's true, yeah. James Earl Jones is their coach, I guess.
Yes,
And,
he's the coach. He is driving them to succeed.
Yeah.
You can be the best of the best.
He delivers the best no since Star Wars 3.
It's true, yeah.
No. Well, I was reading on the B-Fest website, and they had a link, or actually it was on their Facebook page, about how to set up your own B-Fest. And they apparently have a structure to the B-Fest, which you're probably aware of. It's like, start it off
to a point.
strong, you know, then do this and that, then the late night hours is 70s blaxploitation,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
like
Yes,
60s,
when
70s.
the kids go home,
yeah, like
the boobs come out.
the kind of 60s, 70s weirdo psychedelic stuff, and then early morning is 80s and 90s kind of like bad movies,
Yeah.
and then you know you close it out with a monster movie,
Yes.
and then 50s sci-fi's before that. So they have sort of a structure, almost a recipe
Yeah.
on how the thing plays out. So
They've figured out the variety of what seems to please everybody
yeah,
the most.
Instead of like killing the audience, they have sort of
A way to keep the momentum.
Oh yes.
You're constantly
the
being
ebb and
surprised,
flow
yeah.
of the momentum, but there's always the weird blaxploitation movie.
Yes,
And
yes.
this year it was the Avenging Disco Godfather.
Is a godfather of the disco.
I was excited to see all of Rudy Ray Moore's area.
Don't give no slack. We'll boogie all around you. Don't take no shit.
Well, Rudy Ray Moore is a really interesting actor in that it almost transcends bad acting. He has the most bizarre line delivery. It's kind of like Edith Massey in the John Waters movies,
Yeah.
where it's bad, but it's like fascinatingly bad, and it becomes something else altogether.
Talk! Who sent you? Talk! Ah, you're gonna break it! Talk! Who sent you? Look, they said it's about to fall. That's all I know. I swear. Names! Ah! I want names, you stupid son of a bitch!
It's so just an effervescent sort of yelling concern.
Yes, that's the best way to put it.
Bucky, what has you done to your thing? What has he had?
What has he had? Well, the whole movie's about he runs a disco.
Yes,
and
well,
they're-
he's the Godfather.
He's the avenging.
He's-
He's the disco godfather, and he has to avenge people that are giving kids angel dust.
Yes, apparently
Or as they
he's-
call it in the movie, angel dust.
Angel dust.
There's no T at the end
That's
of it.
true.
Angel dust.
So his catchphrase in the movie is "put your weight on it."
Yes.
And he says it in the movie approximately 374 times.
Oh,
Did you count it?
I counted. I kept a tally.
Put your weight on it! 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 Put your weight on it!
what has he had?
What has he had?
The best scene in the movie by far for me though was the pro Angel Dust rally at the used car dealership.
Thank you, Councilman Watson. I would like to remind everybody again, if you know any known drug dealers, any PCP dealers, please call us at 382-9749. It will be held strictly confidential. We want to whack the attack.
That was amazing.
That woman.
It's like a political rally, and there's those flags, and there's like 20 people there, however many extras they could muster up, and there's like a podium, and she's like, and the audience is like, is this for or against angel dust?
It's tough to call. Tough to say, isn't it?
It had that kind of like rally everybody, like a political speech. Like here we, it's just like, what's going on?
Can I have you, mister? Yeah. Give me some help.
I gotta say though, my favorite scene was when Rudy Ray's, or whatever his character is, I can't even remember what his name is. Doesn't matter.
Godfather.
When the Godfather's figured out where the angel dust factory is and he's about to go in, and then there are bad dudes fighting him, and there's just a guy walking by in a jogging suit, like a sky blue jogging suit, and he's just like, "Do you need some help?" Rudy Ray says, "This is a factory for angel dust," and the guy goes, "Angel dust," and then just starts kicking ass.
No idea who this guy is.
Angel dust? What the hell? Punch, 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 punch.
Hey, what's happening, man? You need some help. This is an angel dust factory. Angel dust? Well, let's kick ass then. I can dig it.
But the best thing is that at the end, it just sort of awkwardly ends.
It's spoilers.
The bad guys give Rudy Ray more angel dust. And he has a freak out. He has a drug freak out.
Everybody in the movie that has angel dust has the same freak out.
Yeah, they always see the same witch woman.
There's the dancing, woman of death. And then Rudy Ray Moore seems to think that she's his mom.
Mama? Mama? What are you doing here, Mama? No, Mama, what you doing here?
Moving on to Deathbed.
Deathbed. Now, Deathbed is sort of legendary from Patton Oswalt's comedy routines. He's brought that up. It really didn't need any sort of introduction, though. There's a bed, and it's full of digestive fluids, and if you...
Well, the title of the movie is Deathbed, the bed that eats people, right? Or
it's just the bed that eats.
And that's like,
Because,
okay, I've seen the
remember,
movie.
Deathbed eats more than just people.
It's true. The Deathbed likes fried chicken, and he likes wine and apples. And he's polite enough to give you the remnants of it. It's this weird fluid that can absorb things, but it doesn't absorb the chicken bucket or the apple core.
It absorbs food as if it were teeth.
He eats the fried chicken, and then he puts the cap back in the fried chicken
and the
container.
bones are still in it too.
Yes.
Yeah, the bones are like a person ate it, or
clearly
like an
gnawed.
apple core. He also recorked the wine bottle.
Did he recork it?
He recorked it.
What a dick.
Yeah. So the guy was like, how the hell did this? And then that's when I went, okay, I'm done.
I slept through the middle 20 minutes of Deathbed, or the middle half an hour, so I missed. It was nice. The movie was structured. It had acts, and each act was a different meal.
Lunch, dinner.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
And
then,
just desserts.
And just desserts. So I saw the ending where the guy puts his hands into the bed. And then he pulls his hands out, and they're like perfect white skeleton hands. And he just sort of looks at them like, oh, that happened.
Deathbed should like get a room at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, that'd be a great location for a Deathbed.
That would be like a fresh meal every night.
Yeah.
You know?
The movie I was looking forward to most at the B-Fest was Roadhouse, starring Patrick Swayze. I've never seen it before, so I was very excited to finally see Roadhouse. I knew it was supposed to be like this cheesy 80s movie. I had no idea that it turns into an endless celebration of horrible violence and murder at the end.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
I thought it was just about this guy that cleaned up this bar. He was the bouncer. Man, he's just ripping people's throats out and shooting people left and right. It was glorious.
That's what happens when you fuck with Patrick Swayze.
I guess.
I have to say, when I saw Roadhouse on the list, I was like, oh, you know, that's a big movie. You know, it's a popular movie. And like when I go to B-Fest, I want to see like just some really obscure stuff I've never heard of and laugh. And I found it to be one of the more entertaining movies.
It was, it was the second most entertaining movie.
Yeah, it wasn't like horribly made, incompetently made. Nope. It was just, boy, I miss the 80s.
Yes.
It was very excessive and violent and excessive and violent. There was a lot of burning down of buildings in Roadhouse, too, as part of vengeance.
The bad guys are really uncreative.
Yeah.
It's like every situation, just blow up their building.
Yeah. Instead of very like subtle like threats, you know, like this guy really goes all out. Like he destroys your entire house. Like where you have nowhere to go to. Like how am I supposed to give you your 10%, sir, if you blow my whole house up?
Well, at that point, it's already the end game.
Yeah.
He already knows that Patrick Swayze is going to kill him to death.
And boy, he did. Well, no, he didn't.
But he got it to happen.
Yeah. The whole entire town just murdered him with shotguns.
They all band together to murder him.
Then they all agreed to cover up the murder.
Yeah, it's a very heartwarming, uplifting story of a town working together to accomplish a goal.
And there's no problem that a good shotgun can't solve.
It's true.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
I learned that in To Catch a Yeti as well.
Oh, yeah. Moving on to Catch a Yeti. This was the surprise hit of the festival, of B-Fest. It was the best one.
It was the movie that we went in knowing the least about, I think, and not really being able to find out a lot about it. We didn't even know until the credits came up that it starred Meatloaf.
That was the best part. Yeah, the credits are rolling, the title comes up, and then it says, starring Meatloaf. And everybody, what the hell?
Yeah, Meatloaf is the world's finest hunter who can catch anything, and perhaps unsurprisingly, his goal in this movie is to catch a Yeti. It turns out, though, that Yetis are not large.
Sit here and don't move. Let me take it off you. It's too hot. Let me show you my toys.
Yeah, they're tiny little guys that can't stop smiling ever, even when they're dying. The Yeti's dying in the movie, and it just loves life, I guess.
Oh, so happy to be dying. So happy that it's hot. Oh,
yeah.
He's not gonna die, is he?
We don't know if he can survive in this environment.
Please don't die.
He's not gonna die, honey.
Please don't die. It's really good for you.
They think if they give that Yeti creature big eyes and a big grin. But
that you would think it was cute, because it totally worked.
It's true. Well, they forgot to give it a range of emotions other than smiling.
Who cares? I don't care. I loved it. I loved that Yeti. I want to hug it.
I liked watching it eat.
There was like a wave.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah, it'd start on one side and go to the other side of his mouth, and he loved pie.
Oh. Hey, Dad, I brought you some pie, but you're in the shower.
You're in the shower.
So I'm going to put it on the floor where you will clearly find it after your shower.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this is a children's movie, too. We should point that out.
Yes.
There's a lot of bizarre, creepy things in it. Like, Meatloaf picks up a little kid and just throws him, hurls him across the room.
You idiot!
The kid murders someone. I missed that part.
Oh, yeah,
no,
he
she gets
electrocutes the
electrocuted.
maid.
Yeah, I don't know if she's dead, but
I assume she probably just died.
What's right? Right.
The little girl at one point takes the risk of murdering her own parents to save the Yeti. When they're all in the cabin and she puts the stuff in the fireplace so they get filled with
Oh,
smoke
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't care that her parents are in there. Like, that's the price you pay for saving the little Yeti.
The only thing you're doing is suffocating your parents, and that's not good.
So To Catch a Yeti is essentially like Gremlins meets Harry and the Hendersons meets
There's a Home Alone.
Home Alone.
There's a little bit of Home Alone in there, yeah.
Meets E.T.
Yep.
If you put all those together and remove any elements of a plot, that's what To Catch a Yeti is. Because the whole movie, it's like, we've got to get that Yeti. It's like someone just had this idea, like, let's make this cute puppet and slap together this movie. And it's like, oh my God, it was so frustrating. It's like, what are they doing now? They're trying to get the Yeti.
Yeah.
Like,
They almost got the Yeti, and then they didn't.
Yeah.
We gotta go get the Yeti again.
Wait, but then they did, but then the Yeti escaped, so they have to go get the Yeti again.
Yeah.
Will they get the Yeti again? Maybe they'll catch him, maybe they won't. Maybe he'll run around on a skateboard.
Where's the Yeti?
Oh, I was gonna say, you should also talk about how Meatloaf had a midget that he abused.
Oh yeah, Meatloaf had a midget in the movie, his little sidekick midget that he just completely abused throughout the whole movie. There's lots of midget abuse.
Just right from the opening credits.
Yeah, you don't even know who they are yet.
No, it's just this midget getting slapped around, and it turns out it's Meatloaf.
And he serves no purpose to Meatloaf, who is apparently this master hunter character.
You know why he's in the movie?
For comic relief.
Because midget.
He helped Meatloaf cross the street. Do you remember that scene where Meatloaf says, "We got to figure out a way to get across"?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they were in the park on the other side of the street, and that slowed Meatloaf down, like mild traffic.
Like that.
Now that's different from the other scene where he's walking across the street and the car's coming, he just points.
I like to think that Meatloaf didn't even know the camera was rolling when that happened. That's just what Meatloaf does.
You can't hit me on Meatloaf.
Yes. Hi. The rich kid's mom is always drunk, always, through the whole movie.
Wesley won't settle for anything less.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a monkey with big feet, not a Yeti.
Well,
very
it's except
depressing.
at the end when she's happy drunk.
Oh, okay.
Because her child, the fruit of her loins, is freezing to death in a snowdrift.
What do you think ever became of Wesley?
Well, the exciting climax of the movie takes place in an airport. And there's waving guns around everywhere at the airport.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing with the gun? Put that gun down! Who gave you that gun? That stupid kid Wesley gave you that gun, didn't he? Yes, this is your fault. We had that Yeti. You know we had that Yeti. We had that Yeti. This is your fault. Everything is your fault. It's been your fault from the very beginning. You haven't got their brains. God gave a garden slug. You're two sandwiches short of a full picnic. Your lights are... What do you want?
What happens at the end? The Yeti finds his true love in the forest.
And they kind of...
It looks
Oh,
exactly
the,
like
Yeti,
him.
the Yeti waves
The
goodbye
wave.
to the camera
Yes,
like this.
Yes. The Yeti wave, it's like...
Yes.
And the puppet's just there. So To Catch a Yeti.
Oh, what we learned about To Catch a Yeti is that sometimes you'll catch a Yeti. Sometimes, but sometimes that Yeti will catch your heart.
Oh. So yeah, if you happen to be free the last weekend of January and you're in the Illinois area, I highly recommend B-Fest. This is, as we said, we've done it several years now. We actually sponsored a movie this year, The Great Galaxy Invader, which we talked about on the show before. So it was nice to give something back to B-Fest after the hours and hours of enjoyment and frustration and horror that they've offered me. Oh, B-Fest was fun, as always.
Yeah. Do it next year.
Sure.
All right. Well, I better get back to work.
Back to work? What? Phil, what is that?
Oh, it's Bug Bomb.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what did he say this was?
Oh!